Yes, we're back. Welcome to another show. I have no idea what episode number it is because I've totally forgotten. With me today is, as you can see, it is Darren with his name. The truth. What was it? The truth. What in?
Intelligencer, the Truth Intelligencer originally.
Yeah, that's it. That's your Twitter handle, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I'll put all the links to descriptions and channels in the information below, description below, whatever you want to call it. And yeah,
but I am known by many things depending on which side of the fence you're on. You know,
I've noticed that. I've noticed that. It's quite funny what a lot of people call you, really.
I just in a wave. Can I just give a little wave to all the people on Twitter, especially on Charlie Ward's website? On
yeah, on the Telegram one. Hello. Yeah. Yeah, Darren and I have been talking for a while. This is kind of our second interview. We did the first one, but we looked like we just went off on tangents. So we've decided to keep this and try and do it properly this time.
Yeah.
So Darren's going to introduce himself in a sec, and then we are going to talk about the leaked audio that's been given to me with Simon and his medbeds. Obviously, we're going to talk about Charlie Ward, and then we're going to have a good laugh at the Telegram channel where Darren frequents and trolls the trolls that troll everybody that are just seriously down the world's biggest rabbit hole. But I have got some good news. Darren and I have decided to work together. I'm working with Kevin Moore as well, but Darren and I have decided we're going to work a little bit closer, which is kind of cool. So thank you very much for that, Darren.
It is, and we've got some good stuff hopefully coming up.
Yeah.
We won't be able to talk about it just yet, but hopefully.
We will be sharing everything that I've got. We're going to share back and forth. And like Darren says, we've got some good stuff coming up reasonably soon, hopefully. Reasonably soon. So, how did you get into this then, Darren?
Well, for me, originally, it was because although I ended up chasing more after Charlie Ward, right. Originally, it was because I had a friend that was so into Simon Parkes and all his rubbish and his conspiracies that he actually ended up losing out financially following some of the ideas. So, I mean, this was a while ago. Although I'd known about Simon for many years, it was only like when he raised his head in the last, since last year.
Yeah.
That I decided that, you know what, I need to do something about it because I've had one friend lose money. I don't want anybody else being in that position. So the more I started to follow Simon, I realized there was plenty of people already onto him, like your good self.
Yeah.
And then I got introduced to Charlie Ward before he was into all this. I wouldn't say QAnon stuff, but more of the election before he got into the election stuff. But I kind of came into it just as he was jumping onto the bandwagon.
Right.
And then I had another friend that told me, who I was working with at the time, said, well, have you seen this guy, Charlie Ward? So I thought, well, there's people already going after Simon, so I might as well go after Charlie. And the more I researched and the more I contacted people and people contacted me, I actually saw how deep it actually was. And then when he actually took off with the Americans and you saw that he got a following, not the following he says he has.
Yeah, well, those figures are somewhat dubious on his website, yeah.
But when you see the following that he was getting, even if it's like a few hundred, it doesn't have to be millions. Even if it was just a few hundred, it's still a few hundred too many.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, because he jumped on with Simon, and it's the same. He brought us Nicholas Vinyamin as well, and a few others. It's that hopium. It's that he could see that hopium sells, and he just went on the hopium bandwagon, and it's kind of just got out of control.
But what it is, I don't even notice. It's like a network. I call it a pyramid, but a network. If you get in with one of them, so if you do one interview you manage to do it with Simon, Charlotte, Nick, then you end up being bounced around all the other ones. So you'll go to Charlie, then you'll be with Nick, then you'll be back, you'll go to Simon, then you'll go to maybe David. It all depends. And you end up in this, like, it's a network of just people grifting.
It is, yeah, as you say, it's a little group. It's literally, they call it the round table, but it's a round table of utter BS, utter hopium, and stuff like this.
And what is shocking is you actually see them sometimes when they have disagreements. You fall out with one and you fall out with them all. So there's like a gang mentality where if you don't like that person anymore, it's not just that. It's not just like Charlie you'll be falling out with, but you'll be falling out with Sat. You'll be falling out with the entire network of people.
You can see that, yeah, because lots of people have fallen by the wayside because I mean, initially Charlie would say, "Ask me any question." Simon was the same. The comments were open, and now there's none unless you pay 11 €11 for Charlie's so-called insider.
And the other people that are going to do that are people that are so far into believing them that they're willing to spend the €11 a month, because who in the right mind would give somebody who actually is a nobody, some British patriot in Spain, as he calls himself.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
it's just confusing when you think about it. You just think, where's it coming from? Because you can't. It's mind-boggling.
Well, it is. The issue is, like you say, I mean, you've been following Charlie a lot more than I have. I've been concentrating on Simon and a few others as well, which I'm still doing. But they're just echo chambers for each other, and that's it. It's a competition who can be the biggest. But the biggest, the two biggest in the UK, well, not Charlie's, as you know, is in Spain. Is Simon, obviously, and Charlie, and then they have the little lapdog, Nicholas Vignami, but he seems to have broken off, and he's pretending to be a real grown-up reporter type thing with his little Nicholas TV thing, which is absolutely hilarious, by the way. I watched that. It was funny.
I actually think it's embarrassing. It's very narcissistic.
Yeah, very much so. But the issue is that as much as we point out the falsehoods, the misinformation, and the disinformation, people fall for it. And it's sad, but it does cause real world problems. And it's going to keep doing it until, as much as we expose or whatever, we've just got to keep at this. It's difficult at the best of times. It's mind-numbing. It can affect our own mental health as well, because it's always sat in your brain. It
is, and you put a lot of effort and work into it and time. People don't realize how much time and even money it takes actually trying to track these people down and find out what's going on. It's not free.
Oh, very much so. It's not free. It's not free. So,
and when people say, "Oh, you must be getting paid," I thought, I wish I was, because it's costing me more than what I've actually been making.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I've been sometimes.
We've all been accused of being shills and worked for the government, the MI5, MI6, and all this gibberish, and that's their comeback. Well, you must be getting paid. Well, if I am, is there any chance they could send me a check? Because I could do with some cash. But
I think we're all overdue that check, if I'm honest. You know.
Yeah, we are. We're definitely overdue that check. I might sound a bit rough. I've just been ill, so I've got over it all now. The dreaded whatever. I'm not going to mention its name, but there you go. So, give me a sec. Right. So, let's talk about Simon. I'm in a lucky position because I've got access to leaked audio and visual. I won't put the visual part up due to the fact that it may embarrass his followers.
Yeah.
So I refuse. I won't. People have asked me to give them the raw footage, and I won't, because it's not fair. I have found some information out on a number of them, and I'm not going to dox them. I wouldn't do that. And it's quite scary, the followers. So, well, Darren and I, what I want to talk about, and Darren as well, are this medbed, absolute gibberish about the so-called medbed that have been gifted to humanity via some benevolent galactic beings. We all know it's garbage. We all know it's gibberish, but sadly, people are falling for it. I've got 2 pieces of audio, which I'm going to share in a second. It's part 6. I've been releasing this on Twitter. Now, the first part of the question, there's 2 questions the guy poses, so you can answer it. You'll hear his own voice. This is one of the Connecting Consciousness members' questions, and he asks about the stock market and he asked about medbeds. So I will tee that up, the question, and it's only 1:10. So what we'll do is we'll let the question go through, and then I'll run the secondary audio to Simon's direct answer. Because as you know, on Twitter, you can only run 2 minutes on 2 minutes 19 on Twitter. So you've got to break it up. Right. So let's go to screen share. Let's go to desktop 3. Share sound. I really hope this goes and I don't get this all wrong. Share. Right. Did you see the desktop?
I can.
That one, yeah, the one with my big circle on it.
It's all okay then.
Right, okay. Let's just move that out of the way. This question, I know the guy's name. I'm not going to pose his name. I'm not going to release his name, but just have a quick listen to this, everybody, and then we'll get to the answer.
Hi, David. Hi, Simon. Hi, everyone.
Lovely to see you.
The guy, David, I will release his name. His name's David Hart. He's Simon Potts. He controls most of the meetings. So he lives, I know where he lives, but that's David Hart. So he's not the person posing the question.
Hi, David. Hi, Simon. Hi, everyone.
Lovely to see you.
Yeah, you too. A couple of questions, Simon. First question is, do you have any news on any updates on the med beds? And the second question is, if you've got any shares in the stock market, will when they sort of press the red button, so to speak, will you lose all your money in the stock market, all your shares, or will it go onto the new system? How does it operate? Thank you.
I'll take it backwards.
Right, yeah, he does the shares first. So you'll hear, this is the answer to the shares, and then I will run the second audio to the answer regarding the medbeds.
Unlike a bank, it's not going to be protected.
Well, that's how shares work. It's a gamble. Hence, anybody that owns shares, as you know, Darren, anybody that owns a share, one day it could be worth £10, and the next day it'll be worth But the key to the question
I've never
is,
been lucky with it. On the shows, I've never really been that lucky. They've always gone the opposite rate.
Yeah, I'm kind of. My grandfather was good. My grandfather was really good. But what you got to take from the question is the red button. He's on about. This is the red button that is supposedly going to be pressed on the 28th of October, 2021.
Well, at least
only the bank, your money in the bank will be protected. Because
by law, I think the government is, if I'm right, Darren, it's about 85. If you've got £85,000 in the bank and it collapses, I think that's the figure.
That's how much protected. There's only a small amount that is protected.
Yeah, if you've got 20 million quid and the bank goes, sadly you lose your money. So right, I'll stop interrupting him. Sorry.
The deal was that when you put your money in the bank, they promise to look after it for you.
Okay.
So if they rob you of it, it will be replaced.
Yeah.
The stock and shares were always explained to the punter that they could go up or they could go down, and that was the risk you took. So if you invest in the stock market, like crypto coins, for instance, and they go down, you will not be reimbursed.
Right. So basically, all he's saying is everything that everybody knows about shares and cryptocurrency. One day they're up, the next day they're down. That's how shares work.
That's it. Yeah, it's just common knowledge. That's just shares, like you said.
Well, see, weirdly, he's actually telling the truth on that.
Yeah,
that's absolutely true.
It is.
Shares go up and down. But what he said there, the people said they will protect your money in the bank. He always say, I mean, he always says they, them, they have, but nobody knows who they are. Nobody, I haven't got a clue, and nobody has because there's no evidence. that these people even exist. Excuse me. Right. This is the answer now. There's no point. I don't think there's any point laboring on about how stocks and shares work in cryptocurrency because basically everybody knows.
Yeah, we don't want to bore people to death as well at the same time.
Yeah, it is quite boring talking about stocks and shares, and I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
So
Even if we tried to keep it simple, it would still be too long, I think.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Totally agree. Yeah, totally agree. Now, this is the answer to the first part of the question, the med bed. It's about nearly 3 minutes long. I'll run the whole thing and then we'll discuss it afterwards. We'll do it that way, yeah?
Yeah, because I think it's important to run the whole thing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So I'll run it so there's no interruptions from Darren or I. So it's 2 minutes 51. So let's do it.
The med beds, the key for the med beds is the replicators. Med beds are not being made, they're being replicated. The difficulty is the storage. They're being stored underground in underground bases. They're not being stored above ground because this is too secret technology. And they are not making many of them at the moment. They're waiting for the go-ahead. The replicators are in the right positions. Something like we expect 5 million replicators.
Wow.
So if each makes 10 a day, then you can work out where we're at. So in terms of the question though that you were really asking is, are the med beds available? Who's going to get them? Where they're going to go? No information on that at all. Frankly, because what's more important is the process to remove cabal government who would stop us putting the med beds out. So our interest, our focus, our intel gathering is on this phase of the cabal government being removed, so that things like common law can come in, things like med beds can come in. What I can say to you is that once the green light goes, then they will be replicated at a very fast rate. Britain, because CC is in Britain, Britain will get its fair share of med beds, because we've been promised them. It doesn't mean that other places won't get them, but I know that I don't know whether I'll physically get called or I'll get some form of encrypted video conference, but I know that someone is going to say to me, right, where do you want them? Just like that. That's what will happen. I've got to say, well, I've got these countries. I've got England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland, and I want them in the principal cities. I can't put them in the rural areas to start with. It'll be in the principal cities. So we will have coverage, and we'll do better than France. We'll do better than France because they don't have what we've got. We've got a connecting consciousness, the head of whom is a signatory to certain things. So the answer is yes. The difficulty is getting people through quickly because we will be oversubscribed. So, but we'll deal with that. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Right.
Thank you, Simon.
One more.
There you go.
Yeah, it leaves you speechless, to be honest, when you actually listen to that. Because the first question, why Simon out of everybody, it's much more qualified than him to be dealing with these med beds if they existed, and in a much higher authority. Why would they choose Simon, like an ex-Labour socialist councillor from a small town and retired driving instructor? What has he got? What has he got? What they made it put him in charge of all these med beds to what will be across the United Kingdom?
What's he got? One hell of an imagination. To be perfectly honest, I think that's his qualification. The answer now, if you read between the lines, okay, the answer is when they contact me, I, me. Again, but let's just put it. It's not a disclaimer. A public service announcement, ladies and gentlemen. Med beds aren't real. End of story. What they've done is hijacked the idea of these med beds. One from the film Elysium that they always keep referring to, and I've got other footage of that and audio. Two, the obviously, I don't know, Simon's watched far too much Star Trek, Replicators.
Yeah.
And three, the only one that you could call a med bed is ZAP technology, which is to deal with brain tumors and brain lesions, which are genuine. They're real. You can lick them, you can touch them, you can smell them, you can see them. I wouldn't recommend licking them, but you know what I mean? They're physical. They're a physical thing. So
the thing with those is they're not like miracle beds. I mean, they have these side effects and can cause death as much as the actual thing they're treating. It's not as though it's like some sort of miracle med bed that's you're gonna go on there and it's gonna zap your tumor and you're gonna be up the next day playing rugby or football.
Well, yeah. If anybody seriously, you know, I mean, I'm not going to give out medical advice, and I can't. I'm not qualified. If you need medical attention, go and see a doctor. Do not hang back for med beds that don't exist, that will never exist, that are fake, they're hoax, they're a hopium.
And to me, that is what's the most worrying thing, because we're seeing so many people saying they're waiting on med beds. They've had people give up taking medication, postponing cancer treatments.
Yes. Yeah, and I had a lady contact me directly about her mother.
Exactly. And if you look at along social media, you'll see comments about this where people have give up medication and treatments just because they believe that med beds are going to be around anytime soon.
Well,
because
exactly.
Of what Simon and Shirley have said.
Well, yeah, there is further audio. He goes on. He just goes on and on and on. That 2 minutes 40, whatever it was, that wasn't edited. That was just this. The best part of the answer. Now the rest of it, was making the claim that they can replicate millions of these things literally by using these replicators, again taken off sci-fi Star Trek, where they do whatever they're going to do and they're going to produce if you actually I did the math for it, 5 billion med beds. So but everything again, it's in an underground military base. No, it's not. It's so secret that they let a guy, an ex-counselor, a driving instructor, they'll tell him about it. He's a signatory on what? It's all hope. It's this hopium gibberish, isn't it?
Another thing, why is he going to be in charge of where they go in the United Kingdom, like Scotland, Wales, and England, if he claims to be moving to America as well?
Yeah.
He's not even going to be in the country, according to him. So why is he suddenly being placed in charge of these med beds when he's not going to be here? If you believe what he's saying.
You know what? I missed that. Yeah, that's absolutely. Yeah, I missed that point. That's a damn good point. That's a bloody good point. Yeah. Well, he was due to go the beginning of September, but obviously with restrictions, he couldn't go. Then he started packing his house up, then played musical boxes on top of his wardrobe, where he films his stuff. But yeah, and was it 50 healing centers he's going to set up? Well, he's got a lot to do.
He has got a lot to do.
But med beds can be traced back. They've been talking about these for decades. It's like the QFS. That goes back to the 60s. Nisara, Jasar, it's all the same stuff. It's just repackaged. You see, it was the same with the QFS. And because once the QFS was switched on by him upstairs, this deity, everything becomes available. Now, in one of his previous meetings, he said there's only going to be 3 initially. One in Wales, these are the med beds, one in Wales, one near a monastery, so weird monastery, a bit cultish for my liking. One was Birmingham and one was down south, and one of them jumped on. One of his followers said, well, that's not fair. Why are Wales getting one? So it doesn't matter. But the problem is the believers in his tribe, and it is tribe, his misinformation and disinformation, they are hook, line, and sinker. I mean, I'm not going to point and accuse the man of anything. I'm working on other stuff with somebody else, but there's two different sides to everything that's said here. There's the public side, which is what he puts out on his stupid updates. Then there's the so-called private Zoom meetings. They're not private because he sends an email out and invites everybody to it.
Well, if you notice, the public stuff is actually, I think, is tamed down to what he does privately. You know, like what he does with his CC club, his con club, whatever you want to call it. Not connecting consciousness, because it's far from that. But like I said, the public stuff seems to be like the bait when you're fishing, and then once you reel people in and you get them to subscribe, you can feed them anything then. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? I think that's what he's doing. He casts his rod, waits till he gets a bite, catches whatever fish he's getting, and then he just feeds them all the like more serious stuff, but he doesn't put publicly.
I can attest to one of the members actually works for the Home Office. That's frightening.
Yeah, very frightening.
And I don't know what to do about that. But that really disturbs me. But he's looking, because this is why I won't release their faces, the actual video part of it. You can see the age. There are young, and I'm talking people in their 20s to people that are knocking on the door of leaving this mortal coil. And but weirdly, in this meeting from the 13th, there were all these questions. There weren't loads of questions. The whole thing was 2 hours and 40 odd minutes long. It's run by this guy called David. He obviously determines, obviously he's the admin for the meeting, basically. And once Simon had left the meeting, there was effectively a couple of questions from some other members, but it was the only ever about 3 people doing the talking, and the rest were sat there just listening.
Yeah.
If his movement is as big as he says it is, that Zoom meeting, there were 72 people on it. That's it. And there's a conservative estimate, sorry, that there's about 25,000 people that are signed up members. Now, I've got to give him credit, and I will always give people credit where credit is due. He doesn't charge you to join his connecting consciousness thing. He doesn't charge you, unlike Wardy and Vinyamin, where you've got to pay a subscription for their gibberish.
He still asks for donations, though. There's still the donations, and
there is a donations button which anybody can do. If he is taking donations, I think he should submit a report to see where the money's being spent.
And there's the connections to the cannabis oil and the 5G shield. So there is little schemes there where he could be making profit and money.
I'm sure he's making money as long as he declares it on his taxes. Fair deal. But I'm sure the taxman would like to know. I'm not that much of a horrible person to shop him to the taxman. But I'm sure he's declaring all his donations and his affiliate programs. But there you go. That's down to him. But yeah, the medbed. Anybody, again, a quick public, I'm sure, and Dan will agree with me, I'm sure. If you hear about a medbed and you think it's going to cure you, it's not, because they're not real. They can't scan you. They can't regrow limbs. They can't diagnose you in 2 minutes. They can't cure some of the world's worst diseases known to the human race within minutes. It's all a hoax. And medbeds are a lie. In their definition of medbeds. You've got to remember that. You see, because with every little piece of information that is released, there is a little sprinkling of truth. Now, you get rid of that truth, you get to the actual underlying BS of what's being said.
But I think what you need to, the people that are going to fall for that, like, I mean, I've had family members that have died of cancer and they've been suffering.
So have I, yeah.
And you know, and the other illnesses and diseases on children. And if you're close to, I mean, it's going to personally affect you like that cancer. Even an atheist will sometimes pray to God to help.
Absolutely.
Then you've got like people that will try any alternative. If you go to your doctor or your surgeon and tell you that it's inoperable,
You'll try anything.
You've got 9 months. You'll try anything, and you'll want to believe in anything. So if somebody tells you there's a med bed that's coming out in 3 days, as once Charlie Ward once said, they'll be up within 3 days. I remember him saying.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think it was sometime last year. You know, you're going to believe that in 3 days you might be cured, or a week or two, of this disease that you've only you've not got months to live. You've only got like years. You need it done now. So you in your mind, you're going to put your hopes on something that's not really existing. You're going to follow these people.
Well, exactly. And people, if it happened to me, right, I've got Crohn's disease. There's no known cure. I've had most of my insides cut out and thrown in the bin because they were rotten. And seriously, if there was a med bed, I'd jump on it. And it'd cure me instantly. I've got spinal injuries. I've been through the mill, but there isn't, and there's not going to be. And it's awful. But the thing is, if during our lifetime, everybody will be exposed to somebody, either a direct family member or even themselves may get diagnosed with, especially cancer. Now, even those that are diagnosed, let's say one of the most devastating diseases I've seen is motor neurons. It's awful. There's no known cure. Now, if it was me, I would make a deal with the devil to fix me. I'd sell my soul to be fixed. But
that's it.
it's these med beds, well, they cause more. The idea of them cause real world harm. I'm not accusing Simon of anything. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying the idea of med beds, no. You will sadly.
I think if anybody does look around and they watch the videos and the social media of like yourself, Ems, or the other people that are grift busting, they will actually see that the people are commenting, members of the public, will tell you that they've had people die believing that med beds are going to save them. And that's not people who's just contacted us, that's people who's put things out there publicly. You know,
exactly.
Commenting, and so if I'm sure if they actually comment on their comments, or actually contact those kind of people, they'll be able to get a little bit more understanding rather than asking us for names and contacts, because the people that speak to us want to remain a little bit private. The people that don't mind being public are actually commenting on the social media, on the videos, on Telegram, on Twitter.
Exactly.
So I think it's those people that need to be connecting to if they want to find out about the med beds are doing.
Totally agree with you. That's a good point, Darren. Actually, that's a really good point. Yeah, just if you're worried about somebody, just try and help them. Just speak with them. Excuse me, and just be with it. Just support them. But for God's sake, don't let them stop whatever it is their treatment is for something that will never ever materialize.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, medical, the NHS and the medicine, what they may be getting, might be only prolonged in life for a little while, but at least it'll give them some sort of, hopefully, quality of life in the time they've got left.
Exactly.
Having a shorter life that's going to be riddled with pain and agony and just waiting to die.
Exactly.
In a med bed.
Yeah, don't rely on somebody that, we all know his history. And his claims. Don't rely on him. That's Well, that was a happy note to finish on Simon with, please, anybody that's been affected by this, please speak. You don't have to speak to us. If you wish to, you can, but please speak to somebody. For the love of God, speak to somebody.
There is another point. A lot of it, what's being shared when they go on about med beds, like you said, is the non-invasive radiotherapy bed. That's always been shared as a med bed. They've just taken the photos from the website.
ZAP technology.
And the other thing is, a lot of it is 3D models as well. It's not even real. It's just like 3D models, what somebody's done in a art studio somewhere.
Yeah, they are. The CGI rendering. They're renderings. Yeah, the CGI renderings.
Yeah, and actually, if you if you do proper research and check out the photos, you actually find them on other websites. You know, I found one on a Manchester college student's Facebook page in the end because he was doing some sort of media course.
Yeah.
And he'd made these he'd heard about like med beds and space technology, and he'd made it up on part of his course. But it ended up on Telegram.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I mean, please, we're going to get to Telegram in a minute, but don't go to Telegram for advice. You won't get it. You'll get the wrong advice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
From one of the many dead celebrities, politicians.
Yeah, there's a lot of dead people on Telegram that weirdly can still send messages on Telegram. That's a good one. One hell of a Ouija board, that one. But there you go.
You don't need a med bed because there's no fear in dying if you can still use Telegram after you've gone.
Yeah, that's a point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, according to
like that, what's the point in opening on a med bed?
Yeah, and according to Jason Q, anybody that's passed away after 2015 is going to be reincarnated. Right, we're getting off topic now. I'm going to bring it back to what we were just because Darren and I, we could speak for hours, and we did that, and it kind of looked weird.
We speak a lot off behind the scenes
camera as well, yeah. And we just
people don't do that, yeah.
we go tangent. We just Charlie Ward. Now I want to ask you. I mean, everybody knows what you did to help expose Mr. Charles Henry Ward, doctor, not a doctor, fake doctor, taking driving license because he wanted to park. I mean, bringing Glenn Ward, his son, to the table, and you did. That was one hell of an achievement. And I mean, I always, and you know, I always congratulate you for doing that one. You're the expert on Charlie. So
with Charlie, I mean, a lot of it, what he says, as we know, like, he was born into the religious cult. It's true. You know, there's no lie. There's no lie there. The early part of his life that was bad, when he talks about it and his mum and the way he was brought up. Oh, that is true. There's no lies there. The lie with Charlie becomes when he got kicked out of the cult. Remember, he always says he left the cult because he didn't believe in it. He thought it was a lot of bull. None of it was true, and it made him a non-believer in God and Jesus and all this. But it was actually the fact that he was kicked out of the cult for adultery. He was an electrician, and he was by trade going out, sleeping around, and they found out about it. He had 3 kids with his wife, so he was removed from the cult. His wife at that time, although it ended up where he left, he just abandoned them. He abandoned the kids and went doing his own thing and off to Spain. She does say that when he left the cult and she followed, kind of thing, it was the best thing he's ever done.
Well, that's understand. Anybody leaving a cult, my God, yeah.
So although the relationship went downhill after that, she would still say now today that actually it was a good thing that he had done. Getting rid of the cult.
Yeah.
So, but the point was, from leaving the cult onwards, then he abandoned his family, went chasing after money, became a salesman, which is where I believe he gets most of his skills.
But his banter. He gets his banter.
If you look at it, a lot of what he's doing now when he talks, he has the cult skills because he was brought up there, so he could see what people was doing and saying and the way they manipulate and twist things. Then add the salesman skills to that, where you actually can sell it. And you can actually twist and make things sound better than what it is. You know, like being a double glazing salesman, telling somebody they're getting like a 50% discount when you've added 60% on before.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And so then he went around doing as we know, to the prison services, selling CCTV cameras. He was just selling cameras. It was nothing more. He was no head of security.
Oh yeah, I remember that statement. Yeah.
Remember? So basically, it was just all what we went through with Glenn was the actual truth side of it. People have attacked Glenn, saying, "Oh, what's he after? He's just disgruntled." Glenn is angry and upset because of the way he was treated as a child, the damage it's done to him.
Yeah.
You know, it's all there to see, and he admits that he doesn't hide back. He won't make an excuse, and for his mistakes, he'll own up to them and say, "Look, it's the mistakes I've made in life. A lot of them are my own faults, but many of them are also because I didn't have this father figure that never even supported us, didn't give us a penny."
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we all make mistakes in life. That's it. And if you own up to your mistakes, that's even better.
No, we have made mistakes, you know, and and at least you should learn from them. The trouble is with Charlie, he doesn't learn. The way he learns is he realizes that he can manipulate somebody else to earn more money from it, benefit his life in some way. He doesn't have to earn money, but if it gives him a better lifestyle or makes him look better, then he's going to like twist and turn and slither his way into that way to become this.
Again, what at the moment. I mean, again, it's the same as Parks. What's their end game? What's Charlie's end game? Because this has got to come to a screeching halt one day, and it's going to come to a screeching halt.
I think, although they've like teamed up together, they're still very different. So when they talk, even about medbeds, if you listen to Simon, it's more about the caring side and more about how it can benefit people. So I think he enjoys the attention and he enjoys feeling important. Absolutely,
100% agree.
I think with Shirley, it's more about the Marbella lifestyle, the flash cars, the hotels, traveling first class. So I think it's more financially motivated with Shirley than what it is Simon. Because Simon does seem a bit more humble on them kind of.
There are a few, and I can say this with authority, there are a few faces to Simon, because you'll see that in the next few days, what's being released. But yeah, no, you're right. Simon portrays that the healer, the humble, I'm the humanitarian, and Charlie gives you cash.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this for €11. Yeah,
you only need to look at Charlie's website. You've got the Insiders Club, and it's littered with multi-level marketing schemes, which is just modern day pyramid schemes.
Yeah, they are. Let me.
They're nothing more. You've got 5G shields. You've got cannabis oil. You name it. You've got all kinds of things on there. Then he's always promoting his book.
Oh, which is, stupid book. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I don't know if you've checked this morning. I haven't. So I'm going to do this. Well, I'm going to have a gentleman's bet with you.
Yeah.
How many followers? This is a two-part question, if you don't. How many followers do you think Charlie claims are on his website? Do you know his ticker?
Yeah.
How many do you reckon? I saw it about a month ago, so I've got a figure in my head.
The last time I saw it, I think it was up to 14 million something. I think.
So you're going to go with 4. When did you last see it?
It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, because I don't really go on his website because it's just so.
I know. Yeah, I know. I like looking at the right. So you're going to go with 14 million.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm going to go with 17 million because the magic number.
Oh, there'll be 17 in there somewhere.
Oh, there's always a 17 in
17 somewhere. If there's not, I will be shocked.
I tell you what. I will type this into. When was the last time I went on that? It was 4 weeks ago. So what I will do, I will share the screen and we'll do this live together. All right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll just, there we go. It's all brand new. Right. Let me just
share this. So disappointed if 17's not in
Yeah.
there
Let's go to, let me just go to Google. Hang on, before I share the screen. This is a little side bet. So I'll bet you a cup of coffee. There you go. I'll buy a cup of coffee when we meet up.
Okay.
Right. Hang on, let me just, do you know what? Right. If I press share screen, that would help, wouldn't it?
It should.
Yeah. Right, there we go. We have Google, ladies and gentlemen. Google has landed. Let's go into, there's some people I've been looking at. DrCharlieAward.com. I can't remember that there. Oh no, com. Ready? Let's get the ticker. There it is. Oh, it's gone. It's slowing down. It's got to be 17 million. Yeah, there's. Oh my! There you go.
There you go.
Look there we go. 17,170,107. Everything adds up to.
Yeah.
What?
I hope. And what I would like people to do now is actually just keep an eye on that themselves. So every time that figure goes up, for some reason, it always finishes with a 17 in there. And we know that's part of, we know actually that it's actually part of the.
Twitter, yeah, right. Sorry, we again totally off track. I might edit that bit out.
I was just going to suggest that, to be honest.
I'm going to edit that bit. So if you see this, there's a jump. There you go. So yeah, I mean, Charlie literally is. He's not the Messiah. Don't forget, Jesus loves you. And well, his caliber of people that he used to interview everybody, didn't he? Everybody wanted to get on the Charlie Ward show, and again with Simon, so many have dropped off. It's unreal, and his videos are more new age now in my eyes.
Well, that's it now. It's more about the spiritual side and going down the. You can't say religious because he doesn't say he's Catholic or Protestant. He just says he's a follower of God and God's inside him and it's in his heart, and you've got to reset your moral compass. But I'm just wondering, when you reset your moral compass and then you're selling like a 5G shield, some sort of like other fake scam.
Yeah. They promote people that are selling them, don't they?
Yeah, promote that, and then you're charging people €11 a month when you know you're lying, you're not telling the truth.
Well, this is the thing. Now, I'm ex-military. I've signed the Official Secrets Act. I got to a reasonably high clearance, and I can tell you for sure, if you were releasing classified information, military, government, or whatever, I can assure you, you would have a knock at the door.
Definitely.
And when they claim, "Oh, we're over the target," or they're out to get us, and it's all. Charlie admits it. It's a pantomime, and theirs is a pantomime. It's one hell of a story, but I can assure you that everything they've said is all. There's nothing. They're not releasing classified military intel. We wouldn't.
I don't know if you've noticed as well. Even now, when he talks about what he heard about all those years ago, about there was going to cause a financial crash and reset go into New World Order and take over everybody's finances. And then in 2019, we got the virus. Yeah. And he said, oh, I've realised. So I contacted him again and said, "You've done it. This is what it's all about." I don't know if you've noticed. If you watch the earlier videos when he's talking, he tells that story. And he mentions over and over again, like it's well rehearsed. And he'll talk about the virus. He'll talk about all things around that. But now he's adding the different. You've got a different variant, and he's adding them into his tales now. Well, I was telling people about this 2 years ago. Everything's
been the 10,000 hours, the 15,000 hours of research, and all this stuff.
If you listen, he's added things to it. What he's never mentioned. If you watch them earlier videos, and then you watch the ones he does today, he's added a lot more detail to it now. But he's only details what he's added is again after the fact, after it's happened. It's not before all these like variants and different problems they've had.
He is
saying something totally different.
I think we should. I honestly think we should call him Dr. Hindsight. Yeah, because that's what he is. Or Dr. Obvious, because it's always the funniest thing about Charlie was they sent me the video of the inauguration. Oh, sorry, it was wrong. It was Obama. I think you can tell the difference between two presidents, especially Barack Obama and Joe Biden. You can tell the difference. So that was a backpedal. That was just what a dumb statement to make.
And what was weird there is that how many people actually still follow him and actually accepted the excuse he made.
Well, I I know. Oh yeah, I had to tell you that because yeah, I've got to put disinformation out to stop the black hats listening to me. Oh no, you don't. You're just putting. Oh, I don't really want to swear, but I'm so tempted. But yeah, they all say this now. Oh, we've got to put so much disinformation out to throw them off the scent. If this so-called cabal that doesn't exist really existed, they wouldn't be sat down watching a frigging a YouTube video or a BitChute video. They wouldn't be. Oh yeah, there's not a room like it's like the NSA. You know, I mean, they monitor. That's their job. MI6, that's their job. MI5, national security. Blah 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 blah. They don't just sit there. There's not like 8 million people sat in a room watching every BitChute video ever made by Ward, Parks, David Nino, and all this lot.
Yeah, going back to Sam Perks's recording, what you played just a little while ago, when he was talking about the med beds.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed the way Simon speaks about them and the way they contradict each other as well.
Oh, very much so.
So you've got Simon that's going to be handing those med beds out to different parts of the UK. Charlie Ward's claiming to be the number 3 within the med bed organisation, whoever's dealing with it. He's
and the QFS, because it's all linked, apparently.
Yeah, it's all linked. And, he knows all this information. But when you listen, it also contradicts each other, what they say. It's not actually...
Oh, very much so.
The only time they kind of agree is when they're actually on video together. And then they don't really agree. Somebody says something and the other one just nods his head and it won't reply. You
can, because I'm not going to repeat some of Charlie's comments because they're just downright racist. And especially when he spoke about a certain London mayor and things like this. There was another comment where it made, and I could see it, and it made Simon incredibly uncomfortable. There was 4 of them together. I'm not going to highlight the video because it was a downright disgusting comment, and he doesn't give a flying left whatever.
Well, we've seen what he said about the England football team when they was taking.
That's the comment. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. And Simon, bless him.
Yeah.
You could see how, and I think the others as well. You could see how uncomfortable they were.
Well, you only need to look at his Telegram channel. If you look at the official Telegram channel, you've got. He's showing a lot of like far right material, from people. That
the anti-Semitism's frightening.
Yeah, they are actually far right neo-Nazi groups. Some of them will actually get shared, and people that have been leaders in these kind of international fronts.
Absolutely. But there you go. But his moral compass is in the right direction. We're wrong. He's right. That's it. Right. Let's. Because time's knocking on. We've done it again, Darren. Time's knocking on. We've been at this here an hour already. We are going to shorten this, people. Don't worry. I'm going to do a rough edit and we'll work that out. Shall we have a look at your wonderful handiwork?
Oh yeah, Telegram.
Yeah, I've got it.
It is the best. You don't need to go fishing. I live with a big lake at the back. Yeah. I only need to lift the fence panel up, and I'm on the lake to do a bit of fishing. But when you've got Telegram, you might as well just sit in the comfy of your own home and just enjoy with a cup of tea and cast out.
I am going to make a disclaimer, YouTube. This is fair use. Obviously, we're not doxing anybody. There are some incredibly disgusting comments on there. I will attempt to edit out those vile comments. If I do miss some, I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but I will do my damnedest to get rid of the vile, not Darren's, but the vile comments by certain persons on Telegram. So,
I tell them all the time, I speak to people away from Telegram. And you know a lot what's going to go on there, and I actually explain a lot to you what I put on there. And I've given enough clues to try to make them realise. But again, they're good biters.
Yeah, they are going to. Right. So, well, the very first comment I'm looking at, which is at the bottom of the page, is a bit rude one about you. But there you go.
Is it?
I'm going to share the page.
They're going about the photo. They say, oh, you show all your life and your photos. The only ones that I've showed, what are being shared on Telegram, or what's already in the public domain anyway.
I know,
they only get to see what's available, what they could dig out if they researched.
Yeah. I'm going to share the whole screen. They will see a load of channels that are on there that I follow and look at just to glean some information. Quite a lot of them are echo chambers. So without further ado, let's bring up the world's the comedy site that is known as Telegram, especially for hard right and seriously right wing. I'm just going to sorry, I'll just share it. There we go. Can you see it, Darren? The very first comment.
Well.
So there, this is the official Charlie. It's not the official Charlie Ward channel, but it's been called that. I don't know who actually owns this. Who owns this?
But you know it's not official Charlie Ward because he wouldn't like comments anyway.
Yeah. So let's just go back. Let's go back. Should we go back? We'll have a flick. Let's go back 2 days. Shall we? Let's just go back 2 days. Oh, look, Darren, look. Hey.
Wow.
We'll start there. God.
I think they should name it the official Darren channel or something like that. It needs to change its name, this channel.
Do you know what, mate? Do you know what? They love you. They seriously, you have got your own fan base. I think you've got a bigger following than Charlie.
I need to start selling T-shirts and write a book and stuff like that.
Yeah, you seriously, it's funny. As you can see, this the MO, the modus operandi of Telegram, if you don't agree with what they're saying, they go straight for the attack, they go for the insults, and they don't, even if you prove them wrong, they just call you every name under the sun, and I'll try and get rid of most of the disgusting names on here. That's the way they work, isn't that true?
Yeah. Well, if you look at it, I mean, and they pick up on certain things like Night Stalker. To me, Night Stalker was a 70s.
Ramirez.
Yeah. No, well, there was the guy in London, the rapist and the murderer. But when I used Night Stalker, it was Kojak, the television series.
Yeah.
And what he used to do, he used to go out. There was a reporter that would go out researching, like, it was like the first X-Files kind of thing. He'd go out researching beasties and nasties. And I thought, well, that's a good name, because when you're going after Charlie Ward and Simon Parks, they are beasties and nasties.
Absolutely true.
Actually, it's a great. They jump up on it and change it to the London.
Well, yeah, because the real in the US, the real famous Night Stalker was Richard Ramirez, a serial killer.
There's the one in there. Well, there's a few rapists and murderers called Night Stalker if you research.
Yeah, see, Thumper, he's just nuts. I don't know who you are. I am not casting aspersions on you, but yeah, okay.
Well, for a long time, Thumper was actually he actually hid how far down the rabbit hole he actually was. He would talk and post things. Yeah. But over the last couple of weeks, he's posted some like really high-end conspiracy theories and sharing from all far-right kind of groups and papers.
See, that's one of the good guys, if I remember, isn't it?
He is. He's one of the good guys.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't like him, do they?
And he always puts a series of questions, what none of them ever answer, about the white hats, about white hats, the cabal. And just basically ask, can you? And nobody ever does. All you'll ever get is your mummy is a commie. You're a commie. You're a paedophile protector. You're a paedophile. And the moment you ask, well, which paedophile am I protecting? Oh, you can't get an answer. You just see like this Thumper again. He's very repetitive, if you like. So they'll use the same kind of style each time instead of similar things.
The funny thing is as well, though, they actually use The Simpsons as a sort of intel.
Yeah.
What's this? This is one of the good guys. We'll just keep recounting votes until it comes out right. That's funny. I'm not having a go at Republicans, but that obviously is a dig at what's just happened in Arizona. But yeah, What's this? Other tidings on the Arizona. Still rises, still wet, still stinks. Oh, okay, yeah, I get that. That's cool. But you do. It is an echo chamber. All these are echo chambers.
Bumper again is using the same. It's the same thing. Always the same kind of style, but he writes.
Well,
he gets stuck on certain little subjects, and no matter what you post, if it doesn't go with his narrative, he just totally ignores it.
Yeah, and it's really sad. Mm-hmm. There was one that he I can't remember if it's him or not. The cartoons are quite funny.
And one of the things I find really scary is how many British people are on there that are expecting Trump to come back, and it will change their life for the better.
Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that.
So what I always ask, I said, well, Trump had 4 years in charge, and how did it change your life the first time around?
Yeah. So let's go straight for that one. The low IQ of the. I'm not going to say it because I don't fancy getting stumped by. Even if you say his name now on YouTube, they get you. But yeah, for the love of God.
I should have that made into a T-shirt, I think. I have been thinking about these having made into T-shirts or posters.
You should have a collage like that. All the best ones all over a T-shirt, yeah. Because obviously it's getting to you because you have to stop laughing about this, Darren. But yeah, this is... To everybody that doesn't know Darren like I know Darren, this is what Darren does. He actually points out the facts, the truthful facts, and all that, but they can't come back with an answer due to the fact is, no, well, there's generally no answer. Once you point out what they've posted is incorrect, they kind of go on the... They go instantly on the attack. They'll have a go at you, your intelligence, the way you look, the way you. They don't even now know. Well, I'm sure they've heard you speak.
They don't even realize. And they don't even realize. The more they do that, the more that you're going to feed them. Like I said, I call it feeding the pigeons. So that if they say something and I can see it triggers them a little bit, and the cat hold on to it, I'll actually throw something else out in it, a little bit of information. Yep. Something I know that they'll actually bite onto.
Well, yeah, I've just spent 2.5 weeks really ill, and I tell you what, this made me feel better. Every morning I just turn this on and I just watch you doing it, and I don't understand. So what's this one? The Cabal's fashion trend for 2021. Mm-hmm. Trump won the 2020 election. No. No, and let's just say that again. No. Well, he did win their 16, obviously. Do you know what? I feel sorry for Hillary because she's been done in more times than I've had up dinners, that girl.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I'm sure I'm sure
4 or 5 times I think she's been hung, she's been shot, she's been thrown out of her plane on all kinds of things. I mean, she's to be honest with you, she must be one strong lady if she can keep taking all that and coming back. This
one, the one we're looking at, this. He's done quite a few. He did a video in 2018 or 19 with his nunchucks. He's got some skills. The man's got some skills. But yeah.
Have you watched a recent interview, what that's linked to? It actually talks about the Arizona audit and how things won't be changing. So he's actually being honest on that one.
Well, yeah. Well, this is the thing. They came in, the ninjas, they ninjaed their way in. They did what they did. They wasted millions of dollars. And they found out that Biden won by more votes. Mm-hmm. That worked out well for them, didn't it? Mm. She's been at least thrice.
Yeah.
You know, I can't remember I can't remember his real name. It's not his real name, his original handle. What was it?
The Trident.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, of course. Bloody sorry. Being dumb. Yeah. I'm just being dumb. But yeah, this got me this morning. This is another one by Thumper. So I researched the guy behind Natural News. Well, he's got a sordid history, hasn't he?
Well, it's the same with it. If you look at all the ones that Thumper is actually sharing now, these sources of information, again, they're all like far right to even criminals and ex-convicts.
Oh, and he's an age denier. He's an age denier. He claims that the you know what that people are getting in the whatever that is giving you AIDS. The guy's off. This guy that runs Natural News, you got, was it 50 or 500? A lot of websites. And you go and I read up about him this morning before we came on, and I tell you what, yeah, he's an ardent anti-vaxxer. He's ardent GMO. He's ardent. He's just anti everything, that bloke. And he's a real, yeah, he's a good source of information, obviously, because it can all be verified. But yeah. Again, I mean, some of this I'm going to have to get rid of the images because of Twitter rules, which is fair enough. Not Twitter rules, Facebook rule. Oh my God, YouTube even. I don't even know where I am anymore. But yeah, this public health one here, I've gone through the figures. He's just talking he's talking shit. If this is this guy again. Is he American or a Brit? I think he's American the way I don't know, is he a Brit?
Well, do you know what? He says that the way he talks, you'd think he was an American, but again, some of the stuff he says sounds very British as well at the same time.
It's very difficult because a lot of the predictive texting and correcting on phone goes towards the American spelling unless you change it on your phone, because a lot of the Z's and the S's obviously get swapped over and stuff like that. But yeah.
But he's really into the certain illness going around and posting false facts and information.
Well, this is what Telegram is now. See, okay, yeah. How many times you want to? Oh God. Yeah, there's two people. Watch, please. No, because how many times has the Three Gorges Dam collapsed? And there's a live feed on YouTube.
It's collapsed more than Hillary Clinton's been executed, I think.
I like that. But there's actually, I subscribe and I put it on my Twitter. There's a guy that is 24/7 of the Three Gorges Dam live CCTV footage. And it's been verified. It is the Three Gorges. There's nothing wrong with it. It bent, fair deal, but it ain't going. And it's not nuclear reactors underneath. Darren, you're not even on, and they still don't like you.
They do like attention. If you notice, during the night in the UK, you can always tell the Americans because I'll wake up in the morning. They're all on mute, so I don't get any kind of notification. So unless I actually open it up when it's there, I don't actually see half the stuff they write anymore.
No, this is Trident chap. Like you said, he makes statements, doesn't he?
Yeah, and ask questions are really good, and they can never.
Yeah, just read that. There are no white hats. Yep.
No, if I was on the other side, if I was on the other side now and I was like Bumper and I was like the one who calls himself Darren's wife or the other one, I would actually try to address this. I would actually say, well, actually, I believe that JFK is alive because of this reason.
Yeah.
I believe there's white hats because of it, and this is the evidence I believe that exist. But they don't do that. What they do is just call you a commie or a paedophile, like I mentioned before. Yeah,
so I'll tell you what then. Right, let's just read. Right, get this. Right, let's just that's the reference. Okay, there are no white hats. There are no white hats. Yep, totally agree. Trump is no longer president. Doddery old Biden is president. Like it or not, absolutely true. JFK Jr. is dead and will not be resurrected. Sadly, he died in 1999 in a plane accident. Absolutely true. Trump has not taken over and will not take over the military, not in the US and not in the whole world. Absolutely true. Trump will not close down all media, not in the US and not in the whole world. Absolutely true. There have been and there will be no mass arrests of politicians and actors, so no tribunals, no executions. No one has ever been replaced by a cyborg, a clone, or an actor in a latex mask. Exactly. This is what they claim each time they see somebody on telly, or CGI as well. Mm-hmm. Trump has not installed a new government and Queen in Canada. Absolutely true. She's a weirdo, that one. Woof.
Yeah.
The Queen of Canada. She just wants to hang everybody. Where were we? I've got lost now. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Trump is not liberating the people of China. If Trump, yeah, absolutely true. Trump has not retrieved 650 plane loads of gold from a 1,500-mile long tunnel between
that was one of
Vatican.
your subjects, wasn't it? I think that's
Yes, I've done the maths. I've done the maths, and I must put that video out. Thank you for that. The 1,500-mile tunnel. Trump's forces are not busy nuking thousands of dumbs internationally. Absolutely true. There will be no 10 days of darkness. Absolutely true. There will be no great currency reset, quantum financial system, NASARA, or JASARA. There will be no debt relief. If you're in debt, try and pay it off. If not, go seek help. There will be no free power from the sky, apart from sunlight, which you need a solar panel. There will be no med beds. Absolutely true. There is no international plot of murder by the V word. Absolutely true. There are no black hats who are creating, steering hurricanes and starting fires with directed energy weapons. And finally, there will be no boomy cubiums ever. Oh, look, Bunny's been sitting, waiting for me. That's a good... Those statements are the entire conspiracy, the grand conspiracy since November 2020.
And that's the truth. Now, if I was on the other side, like I said, I would actually try to address those if I could. Yeah. If I didn't have any information, I was just like trolling people like they do on here. Then I would just call people commies and probably paedophile protectors and all kinds of stuff like that. And
that's what they do.
But I would also at the same time be willing to actually research what I was trying to do and try to answer some of them. Even if it's a load of rubbish and it's just my belief, I would still try to answer them.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's just pathetic. We could spend hours upon hours going trolling, and I do. Sadly, I've got to, and Darren does it for fun. But you do such a good job winding them up, and I like that. Because you don't post anything that's untrue. Because your answers to a lot of their so-called directed claims, as I call it, you come back with, well, that's not right. Look at this. And you've done it on numerous occasions. Every time you've done it, even I've gone and looked to make not I'm questioning you, but I follow your links, and they're all true. But sadly, as you well know, once you're down the rabbit hole of, and it is, I do call this the grand conspiracy. Once you're down this rabbit hole, apart from a very few, and there are people that are actually now waking up to the truth of this crap. Let's kill that now. People are actually, they are waking up to the truth. You've been lied to, basically. And the more and more work I do, the more and more work you do, and the more all the others will. And even Intel lady, she's making an impact. Or the other one, Sid's on Twitter, and she absolutely fantastic at getting facts. And there are so many getting the truth out.
I think the mix that you can get some people like Intel lady to do it like in a comedy jest kind of way. Where you can actually watch it, and because it's true. When you watch those videos, they're actually true and it's funny, but it actually gets the message across as well. Because when you actually watch the real people, and the real videos, you can actually see how ridiculous it looks.
So, who's your favorite character from Intel Lady?
For me,
mine's Lyman. I love Lyman.
Well, he's ace. I would say Lyman myself, to be honest, because
that comb over is just phenomenal. But I like all of them. Mad Max Maddie. Literally, she is funny, and she's good at what she does, and I'm glad she's growing. It's hard. Again, it's hard doing what she does. She writes that stuff herself, obviously.
But she's very talented in that that kind of side of it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I think she actually is a professional actor.
Yeah.
If it's one, yeah, I think she is. Yeah, she is. But she does it in such a way that, and you do it the same way on yours is through text, literally the words, but she does it through audio visual, but it's the same thing. And if you can turn one person off, that's one person.
What people
put out of the rabbit hole.
What people don't realize about me as well, they think, oh, I've only ever done text and the Glenn Ward thing, but I've always been collecting information and sharing the information. Although I was behind the scenes, under the radar, it was always passing information on and actually sources to that information. So if people did if I passed something on to you, whatever, or somebody else, I'd actually say where it came from, a point to where you could find it yourself, kind of thing.
Well, yeah, you do.
Just so you can do that own research. So you don't have to take my word for it. You know, I don't want to be like Shell where I say, oh well, there's med beds coming. I've been told from an IS source, but they don't want me to tell you who it is just yet. You know, it's under my NDA, so I can tell you this, but I can't tell you when or who from.
Oh, those damn pesky NDAs.
Yeah. A lot of the links when I post on Telegram, I'll follow that link, plus I'll research it as well beforehand. So I'll only post that link after actually seeing it in other places.
Yeah, you follow, you go bum, and well, hang on, there's the camera. You go that level, until once you can confirm multiple sources, the story is true and it's verifiable sources. That's it. Post it, and that's what I do.
Yeah. So I don't just copy and paste the first link I find. I actually make sure it's double checked and researched, and I'll even read both sides of the story. So I'll read the actual claim, and then I'll read the argument to it, and then you've got to make some sort of decision. Well, actually, that is just too ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, if everybody believed Real World News and all the other ones before it was news and all the best news bit, whatever they call themselves, you know what I mean? It actually says on the websites they're satire. They're satire people, not real.
And before it's news, you can actually sign up and contribute. So anybody from it,
I might do that.
For your bedroom. You can be sat on the toilet making a story up on before it's news, and it'll get published.
Do you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that and see if it gets picked up. I think we should do that. Yeah. But on a serious note, because we're really extended the time now. Crap, we've done it. Like I say, Darren and I are going to work together. Darren I've thanked him enough time. He brought Glenn to the table twice. But it's been fun working with you, and it's going to be fun working with you in the future. We've got projects to work on.
And we need to meet up for that coffee as well.
Oh yeah. Who won? I won 17 million. You owe me a coffee.
Yeah, that's fine.
I can guarantee in a month it'd still be the same bloody figure, most probably. But yeah, it's great to talk to you as always. I mean, we text, we phone, and obviously now we're doing this. But you've got to keep up the good work on Telegram. And like you've just said, you show your sources. You always have done. You always will do, and just keep winding them up, mate. But there is a serious note to all this. Yeah, we've finished on a kind of funny joking thing, as we said we would do, because of what Darren does on Telegram. Oh, it's so funny. I think that's it, mate.
Okay, so speak to you again soon.
We should stack it there, and then we'll go on to the next one. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notifications. I'm going to be around for a long, long time. Go to Darren's Twitter page, link description below. I've got my own. You can see my name on the screen there. But yeah, thanks a lot, mate.
Okay.
And I will speak to you soon.
Okay. Bye.